and welcome to our What's Your Story podcast. I'm Missy Day.
I am Michelle Hausbeck.
And with us is our special guest today, Beth Baughan. Welcome, Beth, to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited that I could be here today.
Me too.
Me too.
So Beth spoke, wow, when was that?
I was trying to think about it on the way here. It was either 2017 first or 2018. I do not recall.
Yeah, I don't either. I know it was a while ago.
I think it was about 5 years ago you spoke, and then you've also come back and did lessons, right? Gave us...
Yeah, and I spoke twice. So I spoke
Yes.
either 2017 or 18 and then 2019. It was probably 2018, wouldn't you think?
I think so.
Yes, and then 2019. And then, the whole world shut down shortly after that. And we all did a lot of different things.
Yes, that's for sure. I was thinking on the way over here, though, I still remember you speaking in the nursing home down by the big screen thing, and how powerful your story was.
Yeah, thank you. I think we all have powerful stories. I definitely have been through a lot. I always, I don't think there's anything special about me. I think as humans, we all go through so much. And I do think, maybe one thing that would be special is, the willingness to share. And I think that's what I love about What's Your Story, is because everybody is there sharing, and it, brings about this great connection. And we're all we might have different events or different circumstances, but at the core of it, we're all the same.
I agree.
That is very well said. What would you say first drew you to even be interested in coming to a What's Your Story, especially so many years ago when we were at the nursing home? Because it's obviously grown, right, since then. So it was a much smaller group.
Well, at the time when Missy asked me, we were doing coaching, and so I was growing a business, and I knew my business was very successful. And I knew at the time, the more I got out of my comfort zone, the more successful my business seemed to be, or the more that it grew. And that really is how, in a short period of time in my life, that my business did grow, because I was willing to step out of my comfort zone. And so I kind of became a junkie to it. And when, Missy asked, and it is really a vulnerable place that you put yourself, and it's not that comfortable to do it. But I just always pushed myself, because every time I did, there was just more breakthrough, and not just in my business, but in my personal life, in my relationships. And so, and I was new to Las Vegas, so I had shared my story different times in my life before moving here, but I didn't know a lot of people here. And so it was an opportunity, to stand up and share. And one thing I know even now, there's so many people I run around in my life that don't know a whole lot about me, because in your everyday dealings and things that you do, you're not throwing up your past and nobody's asking. And,
Right.
It's who you are now. And so it was a wonderful opportunity to share. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for saying yes.
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 You've had, we all three of us have, well, obviously Missy started this, but we've all spoken at What's Your Story, and we've all been attendees. What would you say from the perspective as being an attendee? How do you feel about What's Your Story? What's it about? What's your takeaway?
Well, it's a wonderful time and event and day when it does occur, because it's occurred. What are you on your 12th or
This will be the 12th.
Yeah.
the 12th one? but it's like a moment in time where people, like, they just come together and they're so real and authentic, and there's no mask and there's no facade. It's just connection in a way that you don't get on a daily basis. And the one thing about What's Your Story is I have seen it grow over the years. And the last one that I was at the Ahern Hotel, I felt so blessed, but when left, just this feeling of gratitude to be able to watch how this, we'll call it a movement, how it's grown, and the people that are being attracted to it and coming, and then really just the ahas and everybody attending, and the conversations at lunch and then afterwards, and the connection, and even I would say some networking, because people are meeting each other and getting to know the real, this, it's not that people are fake or that we're not real, but there's just not space in everyday life to go on a deeper level.
Right.
And so it provides a space for that. And I think as humans, we just all are craving that and need that.
Yeah. That's the magic I always talk about is, obviously great speakers and what happens on stage, but between the attendees, that conversations are had, aha moments, the layers are peeled back a little bit more. And one thing I've noticed, even with myself, is I'm a pretty open book, but most people aren't comfortable, right, sharing deep stuff to complete strangers sometimes in a short amount of time. But at lunch, just hearing conversations and even people telling me stuff that if you were at like a networking event, right, that wouldn't happen. And they feel comfortable sharing because of the space that they're in.
Well, it's because, it starts with the first person who gets up there on the stage and they just share from their heart, and it just drops people's walls. And then another person gets up, and it just is, there's nothing like it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I think this last year was more special to me because of the fact that we were sitting in the back of the room. We had an MC who was taking care of everything. And to see all the behind the scenes happening in the room that I normally wouldn't see, was probably more moving to me than actually the speakers to some extent.
Yep. That was because we're hosting it, we're emceeing, we're running it. So to be able to sit and attend for real last year was really special. Yes.
Yes. Hopefully we'll do that again this year.
That's the goal.
Hopefully we will.
Yes,
we will.
And I'm stealing a lot of what you said too, the movement. I like that.
Yeah. Because I always, when I'm describing What's Your Story, I always say it's an event, right? But with, things that happen throughout the year. Because it's not a business. It's not, it's what's the label? I like movement.
Well, yeah. And I really have not thought about what we were going to talk about today until just my drive over here, which was 21 minutes from Summerlin. But, I thought, why does somebody want to attend? What does somebody get out of it? And I really believe, it's so much strength that because of hearing people's stories, and then we drop our fear and we're able to tell our story, because that has been, dispelled, that we just don't keep it compartmentalized and things. And when we have those breakthroughs, it brings about a strength that just can't even be defined. People leave What's Your Story stronger than they were before they left, or before they got there. And I think for the people who are definitely sharing their story, but then the people who are in the audience as well. And it builds, really, I think, so much resilience and thoughtful, like mindfulness of when they leave, there's more purpose to
Yeah.
what they're doing or
Right.
what they want to do.
I also, this is different, I'm sure, every year and for every individual. There are things that are said. For me, it's been by the speakers typically, but also, sharing within a table. There's two specific speakers that spoke this last year that I'm constantly thinking about what they said and applying it to my life. The fork and Bob. And it stays with you. And I think that's really cool that a piece of what your story will stick with you. I've even heard other people talk about that. So,
Well, and I think too, when you hear what lives other people have lived and what they've overcome, like it gives hope.
yes.
And it gives hope for the unknown, because life might be great, perfect, or not perfect, it's never perfect, but good. But we don't know what's coming.
Right.
I mean, it's always changing. And some of the things that we've learned and heard, like, will come back up, like, because you will remember somebody that went through a similar situation or something that was so tough that they overcame. And it is a layer of confidence that okay, other people have done this, I can do it too.
Yeah, hope's the word I always use. 'Cause, I mean, that's what I got from it the very first time, and I get every single year. That hope to get out of what I'm in, or like you're saying, hope for whatever is to come. So,
Yeah, and empowerment. Like, I mean, really, I can say all the stories I've heard over the years, if they can do that, I can, I'm going to be okay. I can do what I'm facing too.
right.
And so I think that's kind of where that word strength comes in too. So.
Well, on that note, you do have something coming up this year in December.
Yes.
Would you like to share a bit about that?
Well, the only person I have shared this with is my husband and Michelle. I did share it with somebody last night at an event, but and I will be sharing because I am putting myself out of my comfort zone again. And I've had the wonderful journey this past year of getting back into running. I don't know what has happened, but I've kind of jumped on this train and I have been running quite a bit and really enjoying it. So my 50th birthday is in June, but for my 50th year, I just wanted to do something memorable. And I decided that, I can't believe I'm going to say it, that I'm going to run a full marathon. Now, I have ran full marathons before. I started when I was 25, and that was really what set my health journey and my journey to healing and getting better. And so I feel like this will be my last marathon, but I want to do something big. And so not only that, I'm going to partner with a nonprofit that is a national nonprofit to raise money for homelessness, and it's a charity called Back on My Feet. And what it does is they go in 17 different cities across the country, and they meet with homeless people and get them doing fitness and running. And that's the tool they use to walk alongside them, but then they help them get job interviews and get housing. And, I watched the video and I just cried because this one woman was like, I know if I could get up at 5:30 to run, I could go to a job interview. So it really empowers people. And there was even a woman that was in the program who graduated from Harvard later. And I have a really kindred spirit for the homeless because of my story. I have bipolar disorder and have lived with it for 33 years, and I've had some really sticky times and struggles through that. And for the most part, I do remain very, very healthy. But in those struggles, I've made some bad choices, or things could happen. I've had a family that has supported me and helped me through my illness, that when I am either walking or talking with homeless people or just driving by them on the street, when I see them, my heart is with them, because I know that the only difference between me and them is some choices. And I've had the support that I didn't end up that way, but I wholeheartedly believe that I could have. And I can't believe, I mean, the running is going to be hard, but really trying to raise money for this organization is where I'm out of my comfort zone, because I don't like to ask for help. I don't like to ask people for anything, actually. I really like to be very independent and solo, but I'm so excited to celebrate 50 years in this way, that I can actually give back, because I have more in my life than I ever dreamed I would have. And I can't think of a better way to mark the year, or, celebrate this milestone birthday. So hopefully that made sense.
It did. I'm a little speechless.
Yeah, me too.
It's a big thing, but
It is. And I gotta say, Beth, you're such a giver. You love to serve in numerous different ways. And I know that's part of the reason why you have had the support, your life to be where you are now. But just the fact that you want to celebrate your 50th birthday in a servant attitude and, to give back just shows, I'm proud to call you my friend, and thank you for sharing about that today.
well, there's a lot of people out there that know me that never thought I would live to be 50.
Yeah.
And, it's, most people dread, like any birthday with a 0, those are the ones that they dread and they talk about. And I'm like, why? Like, I'm just so excited to live a little bigger and do a little more. And, I don't know, I'm excited to see who comes along and supports this cause. And I mean, I think it's hard for me. It makes me feel very vulnerable, because it's in a way supporting me too. And I don't always let people in. And I feel like it's going to be a big year of, just connection, but being vulnerable and being honest with people, and then asking for something, which I don't like that. So anyhow.
So if people would like to support you on this, how can they do that?
Well, the only place right now, because this just all happened this week. I signed up and was able to be part of this charity this week. I do have a link on my Instagram page set up, and then I don't really do a lot of Facebook right now. I may start that again, but that's real. I don't even know the link at this point.
So I have the link because I made her send it to me. So if you do need the link and want to support Beth, it's long. It
is long. Like, I don't think I could say it, but my Instagram is Beth Baughan, and it is in there. And yes, currently my Instagram is private, but I will go make it public. It's private because my teenage daughter doesn't want anybody that knows her to get on my Instagram and look for pictures.
That's hilarious. So yes, you can find Beth. She'll have it public. You can contact me. I'll share the link with you, and I'm gonna put her goal out there. Oh, she might get mad at me.
Michelle has a different goal than I have.
So 1,500 is the base.
That's my goal.
Yeah, I want her to double that, but
okay.
There you go.
Well, we're starting early because, first of all, the Honolulu Marathon isn't until December 10th.
Right.
And the whole reason I wanted to go run this marathon because I love Hawaii. Like, Hawaii is my soul, my heart, my home. I've lived there a couple times. But then I'm going to cry again because I'm always emotional. I was looking up a few weeks ago about the Honolulu Marathon, and it was created the year I was born. So,
Wow.
so then I knew like I had to do it.
Oh, chills.
And right now, the Honolulu Marathon, they haven't even put registration out. So, because I partnered with this charity, I can. So, but yeah, when I saw 1973, my birthday year, I was like, oh my gosh, it's definitely a sign.
It's just falling into place. Everything's falling
Yeah.
into place
And
for it.
like anybody listening, my husband said, you celebrate different than I do. But I'll support you. So yeah.
Well, I know you're going to do great, and supporters, as soon as they know about it, will become
Yeah, I'll start
coming
talking
to
about
support.
it. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we're out of time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you, Beth, for being our guest today. And we will see you later.
Bye.